Hi, it's me again. I thought today, as I promised, I made a video probably a month plus ago. Metal anthems I hate. I don't like them, and I thought I was always planning on doing a part 2, and here it is. Here's a disclaimer: the views you're about to hear, mine only. Especially when you hear a couple of these songs, a lot of you ain't going to agree with me. That's fine. Opinion what drives the world, but they're just my opinions only, they're not fact, so that's me disclaimer done. If I had a car and these are sort of records, or if I'm by the hi-fi when they're playing, these are sort of the records I tend to skip, because for one reason or another I just don't like them. And the first one is by an Australian band, AC/DC. Now, I pulled this CD out for my last video, Rob's 500 contest, but I showed this record for a reason, because the first song, you see, with AC/DC, I was on the ride till about 1980. I'm a huge fan of Bon Scott. I was one of the few, I actually remembered when Bon Scott died in London. That was, I think, 1980. I'm sure it was that year, because there was only a sort of like the column in the paper was about an inch long, and I was down south when he died, and we heard what happened and that's when I was following AC/DC in the 70s, and we heard then he died. But for me, that was AC/DC at the very best. After Bon Scott died, Brian Johnson replaced him, and I lost him after that. I liked some of the stuff, but it was just too commercial for me, especially the earlier stuff, and I just didn't like it very much, to be brutally honest. A lot of the so-called anthems just lost me completely, and the one I want to talk about is the one that drives me absolutely nuts. Is For Those Who Are About to Rock, We Salute You. Everybody will be thinking, wow, he's talking heavy metal blasphemy, but I'm not. It's just too tedious for me. If you want to hear songs of that sort of stuff, go for Man of War's Warriors of the World, or Gravediggers' Headbanging Man. They're far superior. But this sort of record, had AC/DC not written it, somebody else would have. I've got friends who are hardcore AC/DC fanatics, and even they say it's tedious, it goes on too long. You know, it's a great live track with the cannons and all that stuff, but it's just too tedious for my poor ears. I've never liked it. And I'm not being a hypocrite, because many people, I was talking to Greg and he doesn't care for this album, but I quite like Who Made Who, and a lot of people don't care for that song. They say that's not one of their best tracks. But Elle's Bells, that's another good track I really like. But on this record, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. I'm sorry, it's just not my cup of tea. I just don't like it at all. Sorry, but that's probably, I've just committed heavy metal blasphemy. I don't mind, because I'm about to commit some more. Ozzy's had a few clunkers in his time. I've got this record out because I was too lazy to dig the one I wanted out. No Rest for the Wicked. Mama, I'm Coming Home. Enough said. I don't believe. I think Lemmy wrote Ozzy that, if I remember rightly. But you know, that is. I never liked it anyway. But the song I don't like. Let me give you some background. When Ozzy was about back in the day, he had 4 really good albums. Basically, I used to go to Birmingham every year, because I used to go to Virgin in Birmingham. There's a big record store in the UK, to pick up my records. And every time Ozzy brought out a new album, I bought it. And I lasted for the first 4, and I thought these were amazing. And after Randy Rhoads died, Jakey Lee took over. I thought this guy is an amazing guitarist. and apparently he left Ozzy, and there was all kind of rumours why. Apparently the one I'm going for is artistic differences. He went to play a different style of music, and Sharon or Ozzy put their foot down. If anybody knows any other reasons, comments down below. So anyway, then No Rest for the Wicked came out, and everybody says to me it's a great album. I don't like it, I never have, and I bought it when it came out. And Zakk Wylde, he's a good guitarist, but I've never liked anything that Zakk Wylde did with Ozzy. I don't know why, but the one I'm talking about is Miracle Man. I just don't like it even when it came out, I hated it. I even bought the album praying that there'd be something better than Miracle Man on it. And to be brutally honest, I never really took to the album. Never at all. And some of my friends say it's underrated, it's a brilliant album. I just can't agree. But if Miracle Man, if that song comes out, it's just one I fast forward. I've just got no time for it. I suppose they're experimenting with a different style. I mean, it's probably Zakk Wylde's style of guitaring I couldn't handle. I don't know. It's just something I felt they'd missed something, you know what I mean? Because with Jakey Lee, to me, he was the best guitarist Ozzy ever had. Why the hell he let him go beats me. Because I think there must be a massive bust up behind the scenes, because you've got an axeman like Jake on your corner. He was just tremendous. But then Zakk came in, and it was just not my cup of tea, I'm afraid. So that's the other heavy metal blasphemy I've committed today. And you've got the famous, because you don't know whether Ozzy's going to bite that poor little dove. I'm sorry, but Miracle Man's got to be on my list. And people ask me which are the best Ozzy albums. So the first four and all his concert albums, because that's what I tend to go for. Well, I've got about 15 of his albums, all concert albums and stuff, but that's what I tend to go for. But I'm sorry, folks. Now Alice Cooper, he's had a few clunkers, and some of his stuff's brilliant. It's fantastic. But one song I can't handle of his, Under My Wheels. I don't like anything about that song. I'm sorry, Alice. What's he singing about? Is he singing about he's in his car and he's looking for a lady for the night? Or is he about to run somebody over? You just don't know. There's just the song itself. I've never liked it, and I've been listening to Alice since the mid-70s. And it's just something about that song that's never resonated with me. Don't ask me why. But every time it comes on the compilation like this one, if I'm near a stereo, it gets fast forwarded. Don't know, but I just don't like it. It's nowhere near as good as Poison or any of his other stuff, and it's just one that seems to run me up the wall for some reason. The Metal God, Rob Halford. This is the obvious clunker. This record was an awesome album recorded in 2000, and it's Resurrection, and cause I think he's probably resurrecting his solo career, or he's resurrecting something. This is a killer album, but until you hear The One You Love to Hate, a duet he did with Bruce Dickinson, I haven't heard a metal head yet who likes that song. A lot of my friends say don't like it. It's just I think it was a bit like Freddie Mercury and David Bowie under pressure. I mean, Mercury could sing Bowie's face off, you know what I mean? And Freddie sort of had to hold back because he didn't want to upstage David too much. But this song is just dire. I mean, it doesn't suit any of their vocal ranges. I've never liked it at all. But saying that, it's one of my favourite songs on there is Silent Screams. And I'd buy this record just for that track only. But The One You Love to Hate, I just don't like it. Another good song off here is Made in Hell. You've got to be a Brummy, or I've lived in near Birmingham for nearly 38 years now, and he talks about the ball ring and that, and you've got to be a Brummy to understand what he's saying. He's singing about his home. But it's a killer album, except for The One You Love to Hate. Forget it. And last but not least, when you hear cover songs, I never thought in my career as a record collector, I've never liked cover versions. I've never been a hypocrite. I've said from the very first video, I do not like cover versions. I think they're lazy. When I buy records, I always tend to like bands who write their own material. But this year I heard, was it last year, I can't remember, but I've heard the worst cover version I've ever heard on a rock metal, power metal record. And that comes from Gamma Ray. And that's It's a Sin. Now, I was really angry when I heard this one, because I can understand what they're doing, but I don't. If you're a rock act or a German power metal band, and you want to do a cover version, at least do a cover version of a rock or metal song. Don't do bloody Pet Shop Boys and try to sell it to this metalhead. If I wanted to be a Pet Shop Boys fan, I'd sell this lot and jump off the top of this building. I can't stand the Pet Shop Boys, and I don't want to hear their songs covered by heavy metal songs. I think this record's going to the desert, Scott. I just don't like it. It's that Sin, it just killed it. And I was quite getting into this band as well before I heard that, and after I heard that piece of, I won't say it because I might swear, I've got to be careful. You know, so enough said on that one. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. And as I say, they're my opinions only. You may not agree with me. Fine. I might do another one. Tell me what you think of this one, and I'll see you next time. Take care.